Hey everybody, this is Pastor Michael at Ascension Lutheran Church in Torrance, California. It's time for another Midweek Boost. I'm a big C.S. Lewis fan. Recently I've been rereading the Narnia Chronicles, and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is the first book. And I kind of had some dialogue from that book on my mind recently as I was watching all the events of this past week unfold. The dialogue that I'm thinking of in particular comes from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and it's, if you don't know anything about that book, it is about 4 children who are kind of thrust into a new world called Narnia through a magical wardrobe. It's a land where animals talk. It's ruled by a lion named Aslan who represents Christ. But Aslan has sort of been out of the picture for a while. And the land has been ruled by an evil queen, an evil witch who calls herself queen. Well, the kids don't know anything about this when they're thrust into this new magical land. And they meet up with a family of beavers. Now, after they get over the shock of talking beavers, they go to the beaver's house, where the beaver sits them down and he says to them, they say that Aslan is on the move. Well, their question then is, who is Aslan? Well, Mr. Beaver can't believe that anybody would ask such a question. He says, who is Aslan? Well, he's only Lord of the whole wood. He goes on to explain the power that Aslan has and the anticipation that they have that he is going to take power back from the witch. And they see these kids are part of that plan. Well, after all that they've heard about Aslan and how powerful he is, one of the girls says, he doesn't sound safe. To which Mr. Beaver says, safe? Whoever said anything about safe? No, he's not safe, but he is good. Now that's the dialogue that was going through my head as I was watching all this chaos unfold. I realize it's chaos of various layers. I mean, it's not just that we're going through this governmental chaos, but we're going through the chaos of this pandemic. So everything is upside down right now, and it's easy to think that God has somehow left us to our own devices. But the very opposite is true. Jesus is on the move. Jesus rules and reigns over this earth. He is Lord of the whole world. And in all times and in all places, he is behind it all, moving things in the direction that he wants them moved. And we have to keep that in mind during times like this. We got to know that while he isn't safe, he is good. Jesus is good. He loves us, evidenced by his death on the cross to save us from our sinfulness, taking it all upon himself, clothing us in righteousness, and then promising to see us through everything that he has in store for us. We need to trust him. It's easy to jump on the negative bandwagon about everything that's taken place here and get on one side of the politic or the other. To get on one side of this pandemic or the other. Unbelievable how that hasn't unified us, but has actually separated us. Martin Luther went through the Black Death, the bubonic plague. And at the same time, there was political and religious chaos going on all around him. But he trusted the Lord through it all, knowing that Jesus was in charge. We need to do the same thing. Knowing that while Jesus isn't safe, he is good and he's in charge. We need to have a positive outlook on everything that's going on. Don't join in the negativity, but be a beacon of hope for all those around you as they get caught up in the fear and the chaos. Be a source of peace for others, so that they might ask you, where does your hope come from? Why are you so hopeful? Why are you so positive? You can let them know that Jesus is in charge and he's on the move. He is working things out behind the scenes to turn things the way he wants them. And we can't see that sometimes until well after the fact. Martin Luther, while he was going through the plague and the Reformation and all of the chaos that was in his day, he couldn't see what we see now looking back, how God used that time and all of that chaos to get his work accomplished. And we may not be able to see what God is doing in our world right now until much later. But we can be sure that it's Jesus who's in charge. Have a great night.